What's going on, good people? Avid Critchlow here. Just wanted to uh, take a couple minutes to talk about this new audiobook I've been listening to, Psycho-Cybernetics, by the author Maxwell Maltz. Um, and, one of the things that struck me in that book, a chapter that I read recently, like maybe a couple of days ago, is when he spoke about the attention span of modern mankind, right? He was talking about uh, how short the attention span of modern men, are. And the thing is, you have to think that when he wrote that book, I don't want to say exactly what year or anything like that the book was written because I can't call it off the top of my head, right? But it's been a few years ago. And at the time that he wrote that book, we didn't even have anything like Instagram or Facebook or any of these types of platforms, TikTok and all these different social media outlets, right? We didn't even have these outlets. So you could imagine, right, from the perspective he had years ago on the attention span of, the human being back then, right? Which to him seemed to had already been affected, right, by everything that's going on, all the distractions, and just the everyday experiences that we have, right? The responsibilities, the commitments, uh, you know, entertainment, TV, radio, and I mean just about anything you could put in there that contributes to creating distractions. At that time, he thought that it was a lot, right? And fast forward to, the 2000s, and now we have social media, etc., as I was saying, right? And, while social media and, all these different outlets are great tools, right? That we definitely, I would say, need in these times. Social media and all these outlets has created a lot of opportunities for us all. It has opened doors. It has closed gaps. You know what I'm saying? Just the ability to be able to network with like-minded people. People are getting money on there. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much opportunity with social media, right? The opportunities are endless with social media if you know how to leverage it and if you know how to use it to your advantage. However, on the flip side of that same coin is the challenge of, not actually getting the positive benefit from social media, right? Where it just becomes a distraction and, for some people, it's even detrimental, right? As far as their mental health, mental and emotional health, right? Some people allow social media to dictate the way they view themselves from a negative standpoint. You know what I'm saying? You know, by comparing themselves with other people, comparing their lives, and, you know, maybe thinking that they're not cool because they're not doing or have what other people have, or not doing what other people are doing, and so on and so forth. You know, and for some people, that is interpreted and processed in a very negative manner, right? To where, you know, that type of information is used against themselves. In reality, you know, there are two realities of social media, and one is where you could get on there and, you know, get information and resources that help you in whatever field you're in, right? Whatever you're interested in, you know, whether it's art, whether it's technology, whether it's health and fitness, whether it's you know, food, etc., right? Whatever you're into, you can go on there and get ideas, you know, get inspiration, network with other like-minded people, right? And, you know, create meaningful relationships, right? Expand your horizons, you know what I'm saying, with your, whether it's a business you have or hobby or whatever it is, right? You know, you can experience tremendous growth and have access to a lot of information, you know, in your field on social media, right? And it can be a great benefit to you. On the other hand, you have people that, you know, go on there, and for them it's a constant struggle because, you know, the information on social media is being processed in their heads as showing them how you know, inadequate they might be, right? And what they're lacking, and what they may be incapable of, and so on and so forth, right? Two entirely, totally different outlooks from the same platform, or looking through the same lens, right? You have two completely different outlooks. And what this tells me, you know, is that all that's happening there is, it's simply the way that information is being processed, right? You know, one person goes on social media, sees things that inspires them. Another person can look at the same exact thing and feel discouraged and depressed and, you know, emotionally unstable and all that, right? So, you know, what I'm saying is, I think, you know, if you might be one of those people who feel depressed or feel a sense of inadequacy when you go on social media, I think you need to take some time to do some inward reflecting, right? Some inward reflection. You know, reflecting on yourself, you know, on your weaknesses, on the things that probably make you feel unfulfilled and stuff like that. And, you know, try to do some self-evaluation, you know what I'm saying, and take some time to get that aspect, that mental aspect in order, right? And realize that, you know, for many different reasons, you shouldn't allow social media to necessarily, send you down the uh, dark path, or a dark path, right? And instead, allow the things, allow social media to be what it should be to you, right? Take it for a grain of salt, right? Another thing is, everything isn't necessarily reality on there, right? And that's kind of for another topic, another day, you know what I'm saying? There are studies that were conducted that prove that, social media was responsible for a lot of people, losing weight and adopting a new career, learning a new craft, etc. All because they saw a friend or an associate or just someone they met through social media, right? Who might have been doing something at a higher level than they were doing it, and they were inspired by that person or persons, right, to do better in their life, right? So what I'm saying is social media has the ability to be very effective from a positive standpoint for your life, right? It doesn't have to be, negative or make you depressed and all these things, right? As I said, there are studies that were conducted which prove that social media can be very healthy for your mental state. But, it all depends on the individual, right? It's just like we say sometimes that money is the root of all evil, and really, it's the love of money when it's out of context, right? So in the same way, social media in itself is not the problem. It's also just like a knife, right? A knife can be used to make a nice, gourmet meal, prepare a meal, or a knife can be used to harm someone, right? It just depends on whose hands it's in, right? So as far as with social media, it just depends on who is receiving the information, right? Again, some people would see a fit person or a person who's doing well in a particular field, and be inspired by that, right? And, use that information to improve themselves. Some others may see that same information and feel as if, they're being belittled, and now you have feelings of hate being stirred up and stuff like that. And people do this, right? We know that, right? Or some people may even feel, a sense of inadequacy, right? By seeing someone who may be doing something better than they do it, or look better than they think they do in their own heads, right? And the bottom line is it doesn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? We as human beings, we have the ability to take information in and break that information down and use that information to our advantage or disadvantage. But it all happens in here, right? We make that decision. That decision isn't made for us by what someone posts or by, what someone says or anything like that. That decision is made internally, right? So we have to watch our mental state, as far as the way we process information on social media, right? We can't allow social media to dictate us in a negative way, right? Because we don't need that. We don't need that extra negativity, right? We have a lot of negativity already going on, you know what I'm saying? Maybe on your job, maybe at your school, life on its own, you may have a negative experience. You may have a negative experience just going into the supermarket, right? And this is not, I'm not saying this to say that you're walking around expecting negative situations, but what I'm saying is things happen. And that's just the way it is, right? What I'm also saying is what you want to try to do is you don't want to add to life's normal and natural experiences by adding that extra burden of comparing yourself with other people on social media, and allowing the things you see on social media to make you feel like you're not enough, and all this type of different negative information, right? So it's better to take the approach of whatever field you're in, whatever field of work you do, or whatever you're pursuing, whether it's again fitness, whether you're trying to get in shape, trying to lose weight, trying to whatever it is, use the information on social media to help you boost, right, yourself in those areas. So that's it. I just wanted to come on here really quick, and just share some information on that topic, of not allowing social media to affect you negatively, right? And having, that mental fortitude to be able to see things and take it for what it is. And if it's for you, run with it. If it's not for you, leave it alone and move on to the next. It's as simple as that, right? So, again, think about how you process information from social media, right? You know yourself, and you know what you're trying to do as far as where you're trying to go, what you're trying to accomplish, and things like that. So just feed your mind information that will serve those areas of your life, right? And the negative things, just look over those things, look over negativity, and focus on those things that will serve you, right? So again, I want to thank you for your time, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video. So until then, peace out.